Got some breaking news right now. There will be a historic visit today at the White House. In a matter of hours, British Prime Minister Theresa May will become the first foreign leader to meet with President Trump in the Oval Office. They'll have a press conference as well. At a Republican retreat just yesterday, the British Prime Minister saying that she stands shoulder to shoulder with President Trump.
President Trump's victory, achieved in defiance of all the pundits and the polls, and rooted not in the corridors of Washington, but in the hopes and aspirations of working men and women across this land. Your party's victory in both the Congress and the Senate, where you swept all before you, secured with great effort and achieved with an important message of national renewal.
Okay, so Nigel Farage is a member of the British Independence Party in the European Parliament, also a Fox News contributor by London Today. And sir, good day to you, and thanks for coming back.
Good day.
Twice in 1 week, and today's probably the most significant day. I have several questions for you. Let's see how much we can move through here. I thought her best line yesterday, a newly emboldened, confident America is good for the world. That's something that we explored during this campaign. Did that strike you, Nigel?
Yeah, it did, because I think actually under 8 years of Obama, America's global reputation declined significantly. And I think that Theresa May, I mean, I've never heard Theresa May speak the way she did yesterday. I mean,
really?
I've been a political opponent of hers for years, and I thought that the things that she said about the relationship between our two countries and how we should deal with the world, it really was quite inspiring stuff.
You say you have not heard her speak that way before? What was different?
What was different was, I mean, don't forget, Theresa May, voted against Brexit. She wanted Britain to stay part of the EU. She was pretty critical of Donald Trump during his campaign. And this was a British Prime Minister realizing that because we voted for Brexit, we're now free to start making our own friendships on our own trade deals around the world. And I would say she grabbed that opportunity with both hands. So I thought it was a very positive performance.
That's very interesting. She was Bremain, and now she has been transformed. Here's my sense. We are just getting to know your Prime Minister based on her speech from yesterday, and we're learning more about her and what she cares about, what's important to her, and the amount of vigor that she brings to her presentation. I would argue the same is true for President Trump and the people in the UK and all over Europe for that matter. Yeah, you heard about him during the campaign, but now his words carry much more weight. So then, how is he being received, Nigel?
Well, let me tell you that during the election campaign itself, virtually every media outlet and virtually everybody in politics and current affairs, I think I was the only person who was supporting Trump, at least that's what it felt like. So he starts off in a low place with British public opinion, but I think this week has changed things. I mean, what we've seen since Monday, frankly, is almost like a tsunami, isn't it? With executive orders being signed, with, big changes of policy direction. And I think, now we're Friday, what I'm kind of picking up is people are saying, wow, this guy gets on and does things. So I would say a week in to the Trump presidency, his popularity is rising a little bit. And if we see tonight or this afternoon, your time, a press conference, with a British Prime Minister and a US President, where he makes it clear that he is absolutely sincere about rebuilding this relationship between our two great nations, then I think his popularity will rise further still.
I think that's what you're going to find. Is she taking heat back home for what she has said?
Look, as I said to you, virtually everybody condemned Trump during the campaign. They're now having to begin to live with the reality. The thing that's really upset people were his comments about torture. A lot of people, certainly on the centre and the left in British politics, did not like that. But I think, to be honest with you, what Trump said is he would be in favour, but it was up to Pompeo, it was up to Mattis. Mattis has said it doesn't work, so we can forget that, I think, really.
Newt Gingrich wrote this. Are you ready? Quote,
yep.
It is a good time to consider that Margaret Thatcher, much more than Ronald Reagan, is the real model for the Trump presidency. Have you thought about that? Can you define that so far?
Amazing. Well, I guess Thatcher was a radical. And I would say to you that Thatcher in the early days was hated more by the establishment in the UK probably than Reagan was in America. I mean, I know that Ronnie Reagan took some stick in America, but literally everybody hated Thatcher here because what she did is she took our policy direction in many areas and she turned it round by 180 degrees. And in a sense, that's what Trump's doing too, isn't it? There are many areas of government policy here in which America is now headed in a completely different direction, and I would guess that's what Newt Gingrich means.
That's a fascinating analysis. Thank you, sir. We're waiting your Prime Minister at the White House coming up later this morning. Nigel Farage from London. Good to have you back. Thanks.
Thank you.